Hello and welcome to Forbes Talk. My name is Salvador Martí. I'm going to be your host today. So in Forbes, we've been watching many companies. We've been watching the behavior, what they did in the last 2 years. We are trying to find the keys of innovation, what actually happened in the last 2 years. So we found one in particular, Capgemini. And today we have 3 speakers from this leading company. And I would like to welcome first Jim Bailey, CEO of Americas in Capgemini. Welcome.
Thank you.
And here is Aruna Jayanti. She is Managing Director for Latin America and Canada, based in Canada, right?
That's right.
And Pablo Marquez, he is EVP and Managing Director, North Latin America. You are from home, right?
Yeah.
In Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So I will start with the easy questions, and then it's going to be like a little tougher. 2 years ago, we didn't know where this was going. And we are in a recovery context, and we still don't know what is going on. What lessons have a company such as Capgemini learned in the last 2 years?
Well, from my perspective, the last 2 years have been transformational. As I look at the pandemic period and emerging from the pandemic, we've seen a release of demand for the types of services that Capgemini provides in technology, digital, consulting, and business services, as well as engineering. Projects that clients may have put on hold during the pandemic period have come back as that demand has been released. But also demand has been accelerated because clients realized that the transition to cloud and digitalization has benefited them during the pandemic period. So we've seen many plans accelerate from the next few years to the next few months. And we've also learned that demand has expanded to new departments where traditionally CTOs and CIOs focus on these topics. Now technology is central to every department in virtually every business. So that's one of the things that we've learned. The other is that the world has shifted in our workforce and the way people work. Many industries worked very successfully through the pandemic period during these last 2 years in a virtual fashion. And we're, as we come back, working our way through that transition as we understand what the new equilibrium is from a workforce standpoint. And I don't think any of us know exactly where we will reach that new equilibrium, but we're all learning together.
And how are those lessons help you to build a robust business strategy, Pablo?
I think the point that Jim brought related, to these transformational years, because at the end we haven't been prepared to have this type of situations. But at the end, I think the most important thing was the way the people adapted and how we continue selling, delivering, and at the same time, we continue with the business, even though there were some projects, as Jim mentioned, that not necessarily continue, but we have, in particular in our region, we have an important growth because our customers needed to transform themselves in all the things related to the adoption of digital technologies in order to accelerate and to adapt to the situation that all of us were living. So at the end, I think the point related to a strategy, I think that we need to be prepared for the unexpected situation that could come in the future. And maybe something that transform us ourselves in a stronger organization. I think we should leverage that type of things in order, to move forward and to be prepared for other type of things that came in the future, that we don't know exactly. And as Jim mentioned, we need to be prepared in order to understand where we will be landing in this situation.
Because 2 years ago, many not many companies, like 40% of those companies, just have a cloud strategy, and now it's about 100%. So the digital transformation is very important for this region. And talking about digital transformation, what do you think, Aruna, are the main challenges that companies are facing in this recovery context?
Let's look at it in three parts. Okay, first is the challenge that they have in terms of how they serve their customers. The second is how they run their operations. And the third is how they manage their own workforce. Okay, I'll start with the last one. That's the simplest one. Okay, so if you look today, everybody is talking about hybrid working models, working from home. So companies first adapt. I don't know if it'll ever go back to 100%, in the office. So it's all going to be hybrid. So every company has to adapt to this hybrid working model. Okay, which means that how are you going to deal with communications, how are you going to deal with bringing that sense of belonging and loyalty within your employee workforce. So there's a lot to be done around the employee and the workforce in terms of transforming them to the new hybrid model. That's one aspect. The second is in terms of the customers. So in the last 2 years, companies lost, especially those who were not online, lost the channel to the customer. Okay, so as we recover, the key question is, what do companies need to do in order to get that direct connection with the customer and to be able to serve them well and to build the loyalty among their customer base. So the entire customer channel transformation and that is a big area of transformation for companies. And the third one is around the entire supply chain, right from procurement to how you deal with your, right up to going to the customer. So how efficient is it? And today we hear a lot about supply chain problems globally, not just the shipping, but everything else, the logistics and all of it. So there's a big drive in how do you improve that supply chain? How do you manage inventory better? How do you reduce working capital? So there's lots of things. So in a sense, every part of the company, there is something to be done, from the employees, from the customers, from the internal operations. So that's where really we are focusing on and to help our companies achieve that transformation.
Or frictionless.
Frictionless.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me go back to Jim. We're currently beginning a new technological revolution around Industry 4.0 technologies. How is Capgemini contributing to it?
Sure. Well, Industry 4.0, or intelligent industry as we call it at Capgemini, is a big topic. And this is a wonderful time to be alive when all this technology change is available to us, from drone technology, robotics, IoT, machine learning, the list, blockchain, the list goes on. And that has unlocked tremendous transformation opportunities across the enterprise, as Aruna has laid out. One that we're very much focused on is intelligent industry, because we are believers in Industry 4.0 and the transformation of IT, OT, ET convergence. One thing that Capgemini has done in the last couple of years is the acquisition of a major engineering firm, where we now have 58,000 engineers that bring the mechanical chip-level silicon type of engineering to these types of problems. So when we consider IT-OT convergence, it doesn't exist. We talk about transformation. It doesn't exist entirely in the virtual world. Otherwise, it would exist in the metaverse. It also exists in the physical world, as clients like to solve problems that have both virtual and physical aspects. So our approach and our contribution is really bringing that blend of traditional digital and technology capabilities with the hard engineering skills to create an end-to-end solution for our clients, and it's resonating in the market.
And there is something very important, manufacturing in all these innovations. Can you give us an example about how you support in the manufacturing strategy?
Sure. Well, manufacturing itself is a big topic, but working from both clients in process manufacturing as well as in good manufacturing around digital manufacturing, digital twin topics, very, very traditional. I think one thing that we're working hard on is to bridge the gap, because The traditional information technology sector is very different than the traditional operations technology sector. They're different disciplines, different backgrounds, and a fairly large divide. So what we're trying to do with Capgemini is to tie both together in one integrated value chain for our clients. And it's still early days, but we're having success.
Early days, yeah. I will go back to you, Arun. I think this is a perfect question for you. Why is data necessary or valuable for all companies?
I think the best companies in the world are data-driven organizations, okay, which are really basing their decisions and what their strategy on what the data tells them. So but data by itself has no value unless you look for the insight behind it. And can you imagine the explosion of data? Jim talked about OT, IoT, and every device being connected, the amount of data that is being thrown up in the system. So what does it tell us? How does it guide us to take our business decisions? So that's really the importance of it. So collecting data is fine, but to really analyze it, to put, as we say, to connect the dots between various things that are happening and to draw the insights, that's more interesting. I'll give you one example, which might be interesting for our viewers. I remember even a couple of years ago, we did this for a company that manufactures ice cream, right? So logically, you would think that ice cream would sell more in summertime, okay, when it's hot. But we went through a whole lot of data analysis and found that actually they sell ice cream the most when it rains. Strong correlation between that. Now, and then they launched campaigns around that period. Then they dug deeper and then found it. So, I mean, this is a very simple example. But when you look at the IoT and everything else that it is bringing, there's immense knowledge out there which is available for companies to tap and take business decisions.
I think the worst thing can happen to your company is to have data and don't know what to do
What to do
with
with
that data.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And now let's switch to cloud. And this question is for you, Pablo. What do you think are the benefits of any company using cloud solutions?
I think the most important one is the flexibility and this possibility, to have more demands in certain period of time, and you can increase your capacity based on completely an on-demand situation. This is something that really the cloud brings that type of opportunities. I mean, I remember many years ago, without the cloud in place, different companies tried to do that type of on-demand businesses, but really it was not something that was happening. I mean, this situation of turning on and turning off processors on demand not necessarily are the same, because it's not just a matter of processing, it's a matter of storage as well, it's a matter of availability, it's a matter of different type of things that are required by our customers. So this is something very important. And the other point related to the cloud is all the things related to the data that Aruna was mentioning. I mean, when you need to do this type of things, if you have your data in the cloud, you are capable to do advanced analytic, to use machine learning or artificial intelligence in order to answer the question that the people that needs to take decision, maybe they don't know the answer of that type of things. But if you have the information on the cloud and you are taking that information and producing this type of questions and using this type of tools like advanced analytics, again, machine learning, etc., you are capable to have a major speed or flexibility to answer this type of thing. So at the end, I think it's a matter of to have this possibility to be more agile and to have the possibility to adapt to the market needs and to the situation. I mean, maybe, again, other event like the 2 years ago pandemic that many companies, decreased the demand, they have a lot of capacity, not utilized. So when you have this type of environments, you can adapt very quickly, very fast.
Just to add to that, I think all these topics are interrelated of data, cloud, security. And to bring it to life, we have one manufacturing client we work with that manufactures shoes. And they've been in the training shoe business for decades. We work with them to embed chips, silicon level computing power and transmit power in the soles of the shoes that create connectivity, that create data, that connect to applications that allow the runner, the user of the shoe, to understand their performance and understand how they're progressing over time, which requires that full integration of cloud, of data, of security, of IoT, of hard engineering, all together to bring together that solution. And it's an example of transformation where you have a company that for 40 years has been in the business of manufacturing shoes. Now they're in a direct relationship with the customer around performance, which is a very different business to be in.
It's a new connected world.
Yeah. Everything's merged. And I said it was I have difficult questions, and you are delivering like great answers. It doesn't look like these are very difficult questions. I have something else. This question is for everyone. So we hear that Capgemini is about talent, innovation, sustainability. And what is this Capgemini's, how is supporting your clients in your own strategy?
Maybe I'll start on the topic of innovation. We are big believers that everybody is in the job of innovation, because innovation occurs with the customer, it occurs with the employee, it occurs with the researcher. So our job is to bring together both ends of that innovation spectrum, from what we do in our research groups, in our labs, around topics like 5G, metaverse, et cetera, to bring ideas to really initiate thinking with our clients, but also bring innovation from our clients and our people from the field. Because we operate in 50 countries, we have over 340,000 employees, and often the best innovation doesn't come just from the labs, it comes from the field and what our people are experiencing with their customers and their employees every day. So that's our philosophy, and it's one that works.
You've been in market for more than 50 years, right?
Yes, since 1967.
Anyone want to add something?
I can talk about sustainability. I mean, that's a big priority for Capgemini. We see ourselves as a very strong, responsible company focusing on environment sustainability. So we have declared our goal to be carbon neutral by 2025 in our operations, and also to be net zero soon after that. So we are focused on that. We have a 10-point agenda to drive sustainability in our own operations. I don't want to go through all, but to give you an example, focus on 100% renewable energy, zero waste, business travel, reducing that, reduce carbon emissions. So lots of points that we focus on around sustainability. But beyond that, I think our goal is also to help our clients achieve the same goals. So several organizations have declared a net zero ambition. Okay, so I think everybody now recognizes the importance of sustainability and have declared corporate ambition towards that one. But I think there's a big gap in terms of how you declare an ambition and how you actually get to that target by whatever, 2025 or 2030. And what we are doing besides our own operations is also to work with our customers to really help them through that journey to get to the net zero. Okay, so to help programs, whether it's, it could be electric vehicles or anything else, but to really help do that, to help them with, how do you even do calculate your carbon emissions, carbon calculator. So several initiatives. So sustainability is one big area of focus for us.
Yes, thank you, Aruna. Pablo, anything about talent?
Yeah, I think the point related to talent today is the big topic. I mean, after these 2 years and this period of time, in particular, this started last year, the demand was terribly high versus what are the capacity worldwide. I am talking about worldwide because it's a similar situation. All of us are short in terms of our talent because the demand is higher than the talent that we, as a firm that obviously work with our professionals in order to do the services, really are suffering on that. But at the end, the type of things that we are doing is to generate the talent, to generate the new talent that are required. Obviously, it's something that needs to be a mix between the people that you can develop and the people that are experienced, and that mix is the kind of thing that we are doing in order, to be capable to serve to the market. At the same time, it's really important to take care about what is happening with our people, with their wants and needs. This point related to the pandemic and the hybrid model brought a lot of new things to the table. I mean, people not necessarily is comfortable or is happy with a company just because of their careers, but they are happy if they are working, in a good environment. They are working in many times from their homes, because what they're learning these 2 years it's possible to do that, and maybe it's not necessarily going to the office all day, all time, and you can do different type of things. So you need to take care of them. You need to hear them. What are the one needs in order, to develop a strategy to cover this type of things. So it's a group of things that you need to attend simultaneously. And again, in order to serve the market in the best way, you need to contemplate all these things together.
Yes. You're finding talent here in Mexico, right? You're finding talent in Mexico, in Aguascalientes.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a final question. That's for you, Jamie. If you want to add something, you're more than welcome. What are your growth plans in the region in the Americas?
Our growth plans in the Americas are quite strong, particularly with this audience in Latin America. We view Latin America as a strong growth engine for a region that's a strong growth engine for Capgemini. So the demographics, the economic growth, the shift to a north-south supply chain. My role is to serve North and South American clients, and where for the last many decades we've had an east-west supply chain for various changes in the world. Clients are shifting more towards a north-south, south-north supply chain, and we're seeing those strong connections as clients shift their supply chain to Latin America and Central America. So it continues to be a growth engine for us, and we expect that will continue to be the case well into the next decade.
Okay, thank you. We have to start conclusions. Any final message? I don't know.
We're excited about being in Mexico. I think it's a great market and it's got great talent. We not only see working in Mexico for Mexican clients, but I also believe that Mexico has great to offer as a global delivery center, much as manufacturing companies have done. International global companies, the manufacturing from Mexico, I believe that we will also use Mexico for as a delivery center for our global operations. So we're really excited about this country.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Pablo?
These things that both Jim and Aruna were saying about our delivery center, the possibility to move to a more global delivery center, but specifically this idea to serve this geographical area. I mean, I am talking about Americas. Today, our customers are looking, for projects that are more in the model of agile. They need to be more or less in the same time zone, have the right talent, serving them, and really something that we prove that is total possible to do this type of things from Mexico. And obviously the talent that we have and the development that we had in the last 3-4 years in Aguascalientes, the growth that we have, the possibility to expand a lot more, not just in the IT market, but also in the operational technology market that is, direct addressed to the examples of manufacturing, intelligent industry, etc. I think it's really important to have this type of capabilities ready to serve this area or this geographical region in the world. So it's really important, the journey. I am very excited for that because 5 years ago, really our delivery center was just for specific customers here in Mexico, and now we are really attending many other customers for other countries, so really happy with that. So in conclusion, I think that this possibility to serve from Mexico this region of the world, I mean Americas as a whole, I think is something that we can do really good. We are capable to do that. I think we have the right talent for doing that. So I'm totally sure that this possibility will give us, a good growth in terms of jobs, quality of the jobs that will be really important for Capgemini in this part of the world.
Thank you, Pablo. Jim?
Well, I think Aruna and Pablo said it quite well, which is this is a region of opportunity. Latin America, Central America are fast-growing parts of the world. They're important engines for the rest of the world, both for growth and for delivery, as was pointed out, but I believe also for innovation, because the great energy that we have in this part of the world, in Mexico, in Colombia, in Argentina, Brazil, and others, will create innovation over time based on the expertise that's been created. So I'm very excited to be part of the journey and help lead this on behalf of Capgemini, and have been very pleased to be here this week. So thank you for the invitation.
No, thanks to you guys. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and your expertise, and thank you for visiting our country. And thanks to you for watching us. My name is Salvador Martin. I hope to see you in the next Forbes Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.